In this tutorial, I'm going to briefly go over how to do and report systematic literature review using Prisma. So first, we need to define our keywords that we will use to search for articles in research databases and journals or publishers. So here we have the keywords and the key phrases, which we can also add the inclusion and the exclusion criteria that we will see later in this table. So here we have databases or like Scopus, Web of Sciences or Web of Science. Then we have Google Scholar, IEEE, EBSCOhost, CINAHL, SciInfo, Edgestore, and MDPI. So we need to use these keywords and key phrases with regard to each database and see how many entries we have. Of course, we set the time and the other inclusion and exclusion criteria like the time frame over the last 3 years, the types of studies, whether articles or edited book chapters or anything like this. Then we have the number of entries that we have over that period of time, and we include it, mentioning the keyword that has been used for that. And we usually start from the general to the specific keywords. Then we move to other publishers like Taylor and Francis by Routledge. We have Science Direct, and then we have Springer, we have Emerald, we have Elsevier, and we have Sage publishers. These are some famous publishers. Of course, there are others, but these are some famous and well-known publishers. Again, we just use the keywords to search each publisher here and put the entries. Again, inclusion and exclusion criteria here we have over the last 3 years. Then exclusion, we have old studies, high quality journals like peer review, quartiles, and impact factor. So here we talk about Scopus indexed and Web of Science indexed journals, and we remove the low quality journals or predatory journals. Then we move to relevant keywords, and then we have those keywords and key phrases. Then we remove the irrelevant ones. Then we have journal articles. Then we remove edited book chapters or books in case we want to remove them. Accessible journal articles, meaning the journal articles that we can get access to. And we remove the ones that we cannot access. And then we have the language that is French, and we exclude other language. Of course, this will be transparent to show maybe the bias of the systematic literature review only to English studies and all of these inclusion criteria, because systematic literature review is very targeted. And then we have inclusion and exclusion criteria. So for this table here, we have evaluation of the study, evaluation grid. In this evaluation grid, we put the author and date, theoretical and conceptual framework of the article, the research questions and hypotheses, if any. Sometimes we can also include research objectives. Then we have methodology, analysis and results, conclusions, implications for future research, implications for practice. You can just include as many sections as you wish, depending on what you see relevant. And then you summarize each study accordingly. And nowadays there are websites like SciSpace, Typeset, Elicit, and other websites that can retrieve Excel files like this. You just need to do filtering and refining. So that's all, and this is the Prisma chart. So here we put the records identified, we see how many databases, and we put their numbers. Then we see the records removed for before screening, records marked as intelligible by automation tools if any, records removed for other reasons, and we see the reasons as well. Then we have the records that we screened, especially abstracts if any, and we see how many records that were excluded, and then reports sought for retrieval, then the reports not retrieved. Then we move to reports assessed for eligibility, and then reports excluded, and we state their reasons. Then we have studies included in review and reports of included studies. So this is the Prisma chart in brief. If you just visit the website, you will find different templates and charts like this. So this is in brief how we can go about systematic literature review using Prisma. If you have questions or remarks, do not hesitate to post them below,